And Newcastle United, does it give you goosebumps thinking about your time there?
I remember just going out and that being on and just hearing that, quality.
Brings back some good times. I used to love playing St James's Park. Played there a few times. Incredible stadium, isn't it? You know,
incredible, mate. And
when you walk out the tunnel, first time I walked out, obviously St James's Park, you know, iconic. You think that one, Theatre of Dreams. And I first walked out there. When you walk out of the tunnel and you step up onto the steps, the stand over that side looks really small. You're thinking, what's all this about? It don't look great. And then you turn around and then you just see this coliseum of a stand, and you're like, oh my God, this ground's unreal. Yeah,
and I think it's good the way because you actually go down the stairs first, don't you? And then you come back up. Yeah. So as you're coming back up, it's like you're coming into the arena, and as you say, it's just it was an incredible place to play your football. Yeah. Such terrific memories, unbelievable memories.
What players did you have there? I think I played against you. I think you beat us 4-1, you know.
Yeah.
I think you battered us. But, you must have played in a good side.
Yeah, I mean, when I joined in the January, we had some unbelievable players. Nicky Butt, Mark Viduka, Michael Owen, Damien Duff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, top players.
Yeah.
You know, Shay Given was just going out the door. He was going to City.
He's one of the best keepers Premier League ever, Shay Given. Doesn't get talked about.
So Steve Harper stuck. I mean, he was unbelievable too. Steve Harper.
Yeah.
He's still at Newcastle now doing the academy. He's doing a great job there.
Yeah.
I mean, like it was, and we shouldn't have went down that season. I mean, it was so poor. So poor from us.
Is that one of your regrets? Were you thinking, how's that? I mean, I had it at Wolves. You had a good squad, but talking about players like that.
I mean, but you know when you look back, and I look back at it now, and I remember it was going down. We lost at Villa. That's when we went down actually, and I remember going out with my dad next day, just me and him, and Bolton would just let me go. They wanted me back. Gary Megson wanted me back, and I just said no, I can't. I've got unfinished business here. I want to prove to these that I can make it successful. So it was probably what it was needed at that time. Yeah, probably to clear out a lot of people who didn't want to be there, because there was a lot of players who didn't want to play for the club. Yeah, as well as a lot of people who were coming out of contract. So it didn't really hurt that much. So but to go and do what we did the season after with the squad. I mean, we had.
Who was the gaffer?
We didn't have a gaffer because Alan Lashira had come in and done 8 games, and then he was supposed to take over, and it never really materialised. So when we come back into pre-season, there was Colin Calderwood, who's a great coach.
Yeah, I love Colin.
And Chris Houghton, good coach,
good guy.
great guy. Yeah. Who was like they were sort of co-managing, and I think Chris was more the manager. Coach Cole was the coach, but we just got on with it as lads. We were just like, no, we've got to get after it, and we drove it. And with them too, they were unbelievable for Newcastle. For us,
right? And you can probably remind me. I remember pre-season being a bit of a shambles, and everyone thinking,
it wasn't a shambles in terms of how we were working. Yeah, what was happening? It was that there was a lot of players still trying to get themselves out, and I remember we went down to Leyton Orient, we lost 6-0.
Yeah. And I remember thinking...
that's when I lost my head then. That's when, I remember going in, skips going all over the place, booting everything. It was just like, I'm not having this.
Not going to be a part of it.
Not going to, if you need to go, you've got to go. Just put your hands up. We doesn't have to come out of this dressing room, but we'll help you get out. And then we'll move forward, because we needed that, and we needed that kick up the backside, because everybody needed to sort of air out what was sort of all underlying. Yeah, so it was great for that. Yeah,
because I remember after that, the pre-season, you stormed the championship.
We done the champion. 100 points, 100 goals, or everything. I remember. But the lads were just we were in then. That's when it become we're all in and we're ready to go and ready to rumble. And to be fair, West Brom stayed with us for a long time. Considering what we done.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable.
Great couple of years then.
Just in terms of Eddie Howe, he's on a long-term deal at St James's Park, preparing his team for his friendly in Japan. We have some breaking news for you. Howe was asked if there had been an approach from the FA and if he would be in charge of the club for the start of the new season. The 46-year-old said, yes, absolutely no contact whatsoever from anybody, and I'm fully committed to Newcastle. So, bit of reaction to that, Kev. Obviously, been talk about him being the England manager, but doesn't look like there's been any kind of chat towards it.
Yeah, which is, I mean, probably not surprising at the minute, because it's just all speculation, isn't it, what's flying around. I don't think there's probably been any contact with anyone. I think they're sort of getting over the Gareth Southgate area and sort of sitting down with the people. John will be sitting down with the people you obviously trust best to see who's the next one. And I think, I mean, look, it's positive news for the Newcastle fans. You know, I think he was really unlucky, Eddie, last year with the injury list he inherited.
Yeah, he did.
Well, not inherited, but he got.
Yeah,
I mean, it was, you know, it was. I mean, some big players for him at wrong times, and you could see as he was getting them all back at the end of the season that the results improved. He started moving up the league, so I fully, you know, and that was with sort of juggling the Champions League as well. Yeah, you know, which is new to him and new to a lot of them players. So this year, not having the Champions League, not having that distraction, being able to go at it, I think it's going to be a big season for them. Yeah, it really is. I mean, are we really going to start like just paint over the cracks of these injury lists that these big teams are getting in the Premier League? Like the schedule, I know people moan and say they're all getting loads of money, and you know, but they are putting their bodies through the ultimate test every single week in, week out. Yeah. And when you're seeing right now with the FFP, the young players having to get sold to balance the books. So players who could come in and get given an opportunity for some fresh legs, you're having to sell them players. And then you've got to try and get players in to build the squad to compete at the highest level. Otherwise, you get the sack. It's impossible. Newcastle have just done it to Forest, haven't they? They sold one of their youngsters to Forest. So it's happening everywhere. But I'm with you, mate. I think that the scheduling now for football is incredible. I mean, 60-odd games we played last year, West Ham. And you know, because when you get to them latter stages of the so you're talking them lads who have then gone away to a Copa America, they've gone to the Euros, they've then put another 5 games on top of that probably, you know, as well as all the international. That I'm just talking about West Ham games. So all the internationals they play to have to qualify. You know, it's an incredible thing what they're doing at the minute. You know, it's and there's got to be a solution, because we can't have as many injuries as what we had last year. You know, you look at Jack Grealish, he was out for a long time after the treble winning season. Yeah, you know, and it took him time to get
Kevin
back.
De Bruyne.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne has been out. You know,
for months.
Yeah, so like Newcastle were it hard last year with you know the centre halves. You know, Joe Linton. You know, Harvey Barnes, who they just signed. Anthony Gordon was out for a number of months. Yeah. So you know, and these are big players for them. You know, so and who they need. So yeah. Trying to juggle Europe with the Premier League campaign is really tricky. But yeah, we've got to try and start helping these clubs if we want them to be successful in Europe, as well as give us the best entertainment at the weekends as well. Absolutely.
No love lost with the amount of fixtures and the pile up they're having to get. Players are just getting absolutely dead on their feet. And we're wondering why they can't run around in a Euro final. Yeah. When they played 70 games, some of them. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Eddie Howe, though, it looks like he's staying at Newcastle. Said there's no contact whatsoever from anybody. Said he's fully committed to Newcastle. He also said there's nothing to talk about. Don't need to address the players. They know, I hope, by how I act and how I am on a daily basis and how I am committed to the club. So music to the fans' ears at Newcastle. Looks like Eddie Howe is staying at Newcastle for the time being, that's for sure.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.